let's stick with Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Xbox had 2 outages
Yep.
last weekend,
Yep.
right?
They messing up,
That's
Dan. They messing up.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that
They
because
messing
when
up.
when this happened to PlayStation a few years ago, you were all over them, and
Oh,
you know,
it's terrible. Yeah.
rightfully so. So I'm glad to see you keeping that same energy.
Well,
The bad thing, the worst thing about
yeah.
this
Let's tell the full story about
well,
it.
the worst. Well, I'm just saying the worst thing for me was when I heard that people had the physical game. You had the physical game and you popped it in and you couldn't play it, right? I can semi understand you not being able to play your digital games. You not be able to log on to your Xbox account and you can't play your digital game, right? The games that you bought digitally.
Well,
maybe
it's the same. It's the same exact situation. If it's on the hard drive, if you physically downloaded it, it's no different than a physical disc in that case. Now, if it's in your account and you haven't downloaded it yet, the download service is down. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like if you bought the game and you haven't downloaded it,
right? Because the service is down, right? Yeah,
the service is down. I can understand that.
I think that is the issue that I have because I get that you want to have security, you want to make sure people aren't pirating and finding loopholes and being able to download games that where they shouldn't. But you shouldn't punish the people that own the games for internet service going out, whether it be from their ISP or from Microsoft directly, right? I understand the need for validating, but the validation doesn't need to happen every single time. You can get a validation key, a certificate, whatever it is that lasts, I don't know, more than a day, like a week. How does that sound? Because they are the company. Microsoft touts themselves as the company of like, well, we want to preserve games. We want to create the ability to play the whole library of Xbox games, more or less, very easily, right? You want to play Fusion Frenzy on your Series X, you can do it with enhancements. It's great. And now they're like, well, you don't have internet, you're assed out, right? Or if our service is down, you're assed out. So I'm not cool with that. That's my kind of bigger issue, right? Not being able to go online and play multiplayer Halo sucks, but I understand that there's problems. Transparency, like we said in the last segment, I think is important, right? Just to say, hey, look, we have some issues, we're working on them. Estimated fix is about this time, right? And it went down twice, so fans were rightfully upset. Yeah, I was mad.
All right, let me play semi-devil's advocate.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Not with physical games. Not with the physical. That there's no excuse. No excuse. If I own this game, if I own the physical game, and I pop it in, it doesn't matter if I have internet or not. It shouldn't matter if I have internet or not. I should be able to play the game. Period. Point blank. That's
right. That's right.
But I buy the game on the store. Can you? I don't know if this is true or not because I don't buy digital games at all. Can you buy a digital game without having an Xbox account?
Oh, I don't think you. No, you have to because it's everything is tied to an account which has a credit card tied to it for.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you can't do it anonymously.
Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I bought the game. The game is tied to my account. It is on my hard drive. The Xbox outage means you can't log in to your You can't log in as Dave Rotino, right? So it doesn't know that you are Dave Rotino, so it won't let you access the game that's on your hard drive. It won't let you play it because you can't log in.
It does. There are some signatures that are on the account itself. Like, it's not all offline. There are things that are stored on the actual console itself. So, I mean, well, okay. So if I went to your place and you like turned off your Wi-Fi or whatever, severed the connection, I wouldn't be able to log in to my account to play those games. So I wouldn't even be able to get there. I would have to have set it up on the device and whatever else, right? Now, if there was internet, I could say, well, I want to go ahead and log in and play on this machine, which I believe Microsoft can let you do now. You can go to any machine and say, hey, I want to log in and like play these games. So as long as this account is logged in, you should be good, right? Whether that's local, logged in, or logged in and connected to the internet, right? There's some features that won't work, right? You won't be able to save screenshots to the cloud. You won't be able to download updates or whatever. But in terms of like playing the games, like, or in terms of validating the account, like there would be no way unless you knew my account information to log into my account, right? And also you would have to connect to the internet if it was a different system, right? So like if I was a new Xbox owner and I bought the Series X and I went through the process of setting up an account, I think all of that needs to be online initially. So they can validate it on their servers, save the information, make sure you're not doing anything shady, and then your account is created and it's set up on the local machine and also in the cloud. Now, I mean, how they do validation and whatever else, but is kind of, I'm not 100% sure about, but you've at least created the account and you can store some information on your machine and you can reliably say, this is Dave's account on this machine. So it should be fine.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you come to my house.
Yeah.
Right? And no internet. I have no internet. My internet's down.
It's not going to work.
You log into you cut the Xbox on. I have 50 million games on my hard drive. Right?
I wouldn't be able to access your games unless I'm logged in as you.
Yes.
It's tied to the account, but that account information can be stored and is, for the most part, stored locally. But it connects to the server to validate that stuff, as far as I understand it.
Yeah.
So if I came over to your house, made the account, validated off the net, downloaded a bunch of stuff under my name, and you didn't have it in your account, when you went to go log in as you would be locked out because you don't own it. Own it in quotation marks. So you wouldn't be able to access it that way.
Wait. I own the right. I own the right to download it and play it. You don't really own it.
And even that's tenuous. Yeah, even that's tenuous.
Yeah.
As long as Microsoft is feeling nice on that day. So, it's like it's kind of bullshit. They kind of err on the side of, I guess, high security is really where it's at, which they don't really need to because, it's not really necessary. You validate like once a week, honestly, I think is where it's at. And I'm going to throw Nintendo under the bus too because they validate every time as well. So I've had problems where I'll like hop on the subway and want to play a digital game and it needs to validate on the server because it just does that every time. So I'll try and load up, Enter the Gungeon, right? Because I don't have the physical for the Switch, and it's got to validate on the server. So I have to have an internet connection. I have to connect to the Wi-Fi and authenticate and boot the game up before the subway doors close, and I move out of the range of Wi-Fi. It's annoying. Okay. They should also do a once-a-week situation.
I would do... Back when I was traveling, I would have like the NES and the SNES on the, I would have those on the Switch.
Yeah.
Validated at home to make sure I validated. So when I got on the bus, it would work.
Yeah, but you would have to, because as soon as you switch applications, I think it needs to revalidate. I don't know if you can validate them for the day, maybe.
No. I think for that, I think they checked like every 3 days or something along those lines.
Maybe there's a little bit of a leeway. Yeah, fair enough.
Because I remember. I mean, again, I haven't taken my Switch out of my house in 2 years, so I don't really remember. But when I had the Switch Lite, I would when I was catching the bus, I would take the Switch Lite, validate it at home, so when I go to work the next day, it worked on the bus, going and coming.
Yeah.
So
3 days better than a day, 100%.
3 days is better than a day.
A week, I think, is really where it's at, to be honest. But we'll see. I don't know if anything's actually going to come of this because they're back up and running now, so everyone's going to stop complaining. So.
But I didn't notice though. Like I was playing.
How did I?
My Xbox. I guess I played it before and after all the outages because I didn't see it at all.
Same.
I didn't even know it was until I didn't even know it was outages until I started checking Twitter just for to start putting the show together. I was like, oh man, there were outages. I didn't even notice. I wonder if Dave can't play Elden Ring because there were 2 outages.
No, I was good. No issues.